right on OKFM at 99.5. Let's read this announcement very quickly before we take our guest. Is already here with us in studios. OKFM 99.5, located on Lane Street in Monrovia, is pleased to announce the applications are now open for this year's International Child Day of Broadcasting, set for this December. Young aspiring broadcasters between the ages of 9 and 15 are encouraged to apply for a chance to participate in the special event. Submission application starts on 5th December and will end on December 11, 2025 at 5 p.m. All applications should be submitted to the management of OKFM 99.5 Lane Street, Monrovia, Liberia. OKFM looks forward to giving children a platform to express themselves, develop their skills, their media skills, and experience the world of broadcasting firsthand. The management signed this announcement. Well, we will have with us, or we already have with us. Let me join Julius very quickly for at least 2 minutes. He has an update. Then we will go straight. Julius, we do not have time. Good evening, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, indeed, Trokon, thanks so kindly for joining. I'm just walking out of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's International Conference Center to talk to you.
Great. I saw you post a video of Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, the pro-tem, marching into the hall. What's the update?
She just got through speaking as one of the invited guests here at the 25th celebration of the ECOWAS Parliament. This is its 25th year in operations. And she recalled the role played by the ECOWAS Parliament in Liberia in terms of the different peace. The leadership saga at the House of Representatives. She also went on to challenge the sub-region to ensure that the issues of food are happening, that the different governments can do better to deliver for their people, and to ensure that they can deepen democracy and economic prosperity of their people, and to ensure that things like who are not happening. These are the kinds of challenges that the parliament must ensure that it is adopting policies that can make sure that these things aren't happening.
It is a all women event on today, Julius. Did she make specific reference about Liberia, women participation, and strides the government is making towards that, and what she think ECOWAS?
So this is an entire ECOWAS event because it's the 25th
Oh, okay. I thought it was the one attended yesterday by.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a women's event there before yesterday. The one I was attended by former Vice President Joa Howard Taylor. She's also in attendance on today. That was the exclusive women event.
Okay.
But today is an entire celebration. Yes, she mentioned the role of women in the community parliament, because right now the speaker of the parliament is a woman from Togo, Madam Ibrahima. So according to her, this demonstrates the fact that women continue to play very significant roles. Other speakers today also talked about the issues of coup that continue to happen. The deputy speaker of the Ghanaian parliament said that ECOWAS countries must start to think and analyze and see if the versions of democracy we have are actually delivering for the good of the people, and how can we make it better? Okay. You know, these are the kinds of statements that are coming out here.
What's the lineup for tomorrow? Maybe just 30 seconds before we leave you. I guess it's already here.
Yes, tomorrow will be events at the ECOWAS Parliament that is just right next door to this building. There will be country reports and different discussions that will be coming up.
Great. Thank you, Julius, for joining us. Julius is in Abuja, Nigeria, attending the ECOWAS summit there. He was reporting about A statement delivered by Senate Pro Temporium Likanga Lawrence, and that program continues until the 13th, yes, of this month. But let's now welcome our guests, and we're going to stay away from the real raw politics a bit and look into Liberia's oil sector. Mr. Edwin A. Famude holds a Master of Science degree in Energy Studies with specialization in petroleum economics, and he's a former employee of the National Oil Company of Liberia. Mr. Famude, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I know you've been in the studios before.
Thank
so
you.
let me say welcome again.
Thank you. And I'm glad to be here. The last time we were here, it was a wonderful experience. And that was my very first time coming to the OK studio. But it's always wonderful to be here.
Great. I hope we have a better conversation today. Quite informative and intriguing. Yeah, but how's life been? And how's your professional life, by the way?
Well, it's great. I transitioned from the oil and gas sector a few years back. I now work with, but I'm still in the energy sector. I work for the electricity sector at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. So I still find myself within my scope of education because, as you rightly say, I have a master's in energy studies with specialization in petroleum economics from the University of Dundee, United Kingdom. Yeah.
That's great. What is this thing about Liberia oil? I know we've given trial to several companies that have come to our shores. When Nokar was here doing Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time, former President Sirleaf, you worked there. What is this thing about Liberia and oil?
Well, Trokon, let me say this. I've been trying to dodge this whole oil and gas conversation for some time, but if you have a friend like Kevin, Demi, and Clarence, and they keep pushing you, in fact, making you to feel guilty, that, you educated in the field and you don't want to talk about it, you have the expertise and all of this thing going out, you guys aren't being fair. So I reluctantly agreed to appear on Kevin's show. And after that, I've been receiving a lot of calls, and I've actually been turning it down. But when Piso reached out to me and said, look, if you don't come to see, I will bring out a Ganta call.
Don't turn out a call, yeah. It meant for radio.
Yes. So, so I said, okay, I owe you one. So, I just have to appear. But, on a very interesting note, the oil and gas sector is a very interesting field. For Liberia, not much has been done in our oil and gas sector in terms of exploration. I will give you the historicity. It started back in the 1960s when the government of Liberia had interest. I think there was this whole issue of the hydrocarbon sector, being booming with the coming in of the automobile sector and then the aviation sector. And there was this demand for, oil and gas. So the government of Liberia then decided to also start this whole process of exploring for oil and gas. So there was they brought in a company called Union Cabe. They brought in other companies, including Chevron. In 1972, they drew a couple of wells. I think about 4 wells or so, but they didn't find any commercial quantity of oil. What they did actually find was that the geology at that time shows that there is a possibility, of oil being within our basin due to our location within the Gulf of Guinea, and also not too far from, where Brazil and other countries that are actually oil prone, countries or so. So then, again, after the 70s, the oil and gas sector again slowed down when we didn't make any find because it's actually costly to do these explorations.
Sure.
So it slowed down, and then in 1983, it picks up again. There was another company called Union something. I think it was a Liberian company that drilled also. I think I believe they drilled 3 wells, and then out of those 3 wells, we didn't find any commercial quantity of oil. So then again, the war came in and everything about the hydrocarbon sector, just slowed down or so. And then in the 2000, the former President Charles Taylor decided to, start this whole oil and gas discussion because it was now getting big in Nigeria, in Angola, in other countries. And then came the formation of NOCAL, and then fast forward now to 2005, 2006 when the new government came in other people like the likes of Oronto.
So the formation of NOCA was during Taylor's
It
regime.
was within the Charles Taylor's regime. It was around 2000, and then this company called Oronto and African Petroleum, they all decided to come to Liberia. Then they keep acquire explorations, license, and other reconnaissance seismic data to see if they can go out there to attract other people to come. And then we started. So between 2010 to 2015, we all saw the huge influx of the different international oil companies, the likes of the Anadarko, the ExxonMobil, the Chevron, and so forth. They all came and did a lot of, and drilled few wells, 1 or 2, 3 wells or so. But again, those wells did not show commercial quantity or commercial viability. So by the end of 2015, they all, pack up their bags and then turn over our offshore blocks to us and left. So between 2016 to 2025, there was no active activity going on in our basin, many explorations or so forth. So the whole sector again went, on a ground.
Dormant,
Yes, it became dormant. So again, 2005, this whole euphoria again have started with it coming in with the pronouncement of the Total Energy, yes, acquiring 4 blocks, and then again the coming in of Oronto, another 4 blocks. So it has started now to actually bring up the whole euphoria about the oil and gas sector or so. But sometimes we actually apply the wrong nomenclature to some of these things, and every time we go out there we say oil blocks. What we're saying to the people who doesn't understand the sector is that you have oil,
and that's the confusion about
yes,
it.
and that
Because when you tell me who do not understand, all of what you are explaining, you say the block, we are giving oil block to a particular company. I move with the confession that the country already
have oil, yes, and so you're just apportioning those blocks and giving it to company, but that's not the issue.
So what should be the nomenclature?
So the nomenclature is offshore acreages. All right. So basically, it's just demarcation under the seabed that you are just giving to different companies to go and search. Because right now, like I say, all of our activity has been offshore, meaning under the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, that's where we're now searching, because most of the places that major discovery has been made, like in Ghana, in Ivory Coast, even in Nigeria, is mostly offshore. Yes, there are a lot of onshore activities in Nigeria because they have the seismic. They've done a lot of exploration activities, so they were able to find commercial quantity of oil onshore. So they also started, those whole processes. So instead of us saying oil blocks, I think we need to say offshore acreages so that people will understand. And we don't sell these blocks. What we do is that it's almost like a lease. We give it to you for a specific period, yes, to be able to search. It's basically giving it to you to go and search.
So
and
that's
look
the
for
exploration.
It. That's the
portion.
exploration, aside of it. So if you search and find, then now we get into the production sharing contract. But most of the companies will bring all of those things in from, because it's actually costly. It's a very expensive gesture that also have a 99.9% chances of not finding. So if you have that, take for example, all of the oil companies that came between 2010 to 2015, they spend millions of dollars here. Just to bring a rig here on our waters a day, it costs $1 million a day.
Wow.
$1 million US. So if they drill 2 wells, so if they say they're going to be drilling 2 wells, maybe one well for 30 days, another well for 30 days, that's $60 million. That's just for the rig. The other activities, they have to pay surface renter, they have to pay the other one, they have to fly in expertise and all of these different
people
things.
here to work with them.
Of course. So and definitely we will get there, because this whole conversation now, it is not about what is happening with the with those oil contract, because the legislators has a constitutional mandate to go through these instruments. We are not interested in what they're doing there with it. Our interest is that what we should be doing as a country to be able to actually benefit from these activities. The last drilling campaign, I can tell you, it's sad that 40 to 50% of the money that's supposed to leave here in those drilling activities went to other countries like Ivory Coast,
What happened?
like Ghana, because we never had the people that were qualified to be able to go offshore. Now,
Meaning they weren't trained Liberians.
they were in
that's
trained Liberian, in as much as some Liberian company at that time tried to, just make their way through, but they were only successful to put one or two persons on those rigs, to be able to start getting the experience. Now, take for example, when the risk gets here, right? You need catering services. You need people who you need services that will take the people from onshore to the rig. Those are all
It
services
should be, set aside exclusive for Liberian businesses.
Of course. And even janitorial services. People got to be there to clean up. People got to be there to, when I listened to Honorable Snow doing the whole stuff, and he was concerned that even the clothes that the guys were wearing on the rig, those clothes were being washed in Ghana, not in Liberia.
Wow.
Of course. Even the clothes. So now that we're getting excited about this oil and gas sector, what we need to start doing now as a country so that we benefit, because the $1 million a day, portion of that money is supposed to be left in Liberia based on the services that you provide. You need security services, because those guys are out there. They're actually engaged in a very expensive, venture. That rig has to be mined, But do we have trained Liberian private security companies to guard those rig of sea? No, you don't. Secondly, before you even put somebody on the rig, they have to go for a training. When I was at Noka, before we go offshore, we had to go to Ghana to do something called BOSED. That one is standard. So all of these things we're talking about, okay, the environmental issue. When the rigs come, the EPA staff cannot go on a rig if it doesn't have a BOSED certificate.
Meaning we need to start to train.
Meaning we need to start sending our people to Ghana to acquire the requisite certificate and the training before they can go there. So while we're making all of these, statements and moving here and there, and we're already getting green light that these guys want to come and actually drill, like Total. They're not coming to wait for Liberia.
I know that conversation is ongoing at the capital, and we will pass out a little bit.
Yeah, so those guys are not going to come. They're not going to bring a rig where they're paying $1 million a day to get it in your waters.
And go take people who are not qualified.
No, aside from that, to wait for you to say, okay, give us 1 week or give us 5 days to send our people to Ghana to train them before we can send them on board the rig.
Should that now be the concern of the National Oil Company? That we vet Liberians who are able to go for training, come back, and serve in the sector?
I think that's not only the National Oil Company. It should be a conversation with the regulatory authority, the LPRA, the NOCA, even the national government. Because, like I said, these things are somehow capital intensive. So we need to start looking into it. Look, do we have Liberians here? Because some of the jobs on the rig are manual jobs. You don't need a degree.
Certain skill, yeah.
But you need to have some kind of a certificate to go on shore. Now, and those certificates are not being offered in Liberia. It means that the guys have to go to Ghana to do it. And there is also a cost attached to those things. So we need to start having the conversation. The last drilling campaign, there were some Liberians that went, offshore. Do we have a database of them? Do we have a record union here? Can we start talking to them?
Where can we find them?
Where can we find them?
Where are they now?
And if we have them, can we find other young Liberians that don't have job right now that are able to go there and perform the same job? Because these are just like I said, a derricking, the different stuff. Even the mud coming out of the well.
But they just need some form of certificates.
They need the certificate
to
qualify them to go on a rig. So I think these are some of the conversations that we need to have.
Great. As we move forward, a couple of years back, like you rightly put it, between 2010 to 2015, Noka operated here, ExxonMobil, all of these companies came to Liberia, our understanding is they did not found what
Commercial quantity.
yes commercial quantity, but it means we have oil in our basin.
Well, yes, with what
But what the quantity they needed,
with what the geologists of the basin has shown, yes, we have out of the source rock, we have out of the various petroleum trap in other countries that have made commercial discovery.
Okay.
So it shows that we may have it, but we have not been able to actually identify a reservoir, or we have not been lucky
To find where-
to hit a reservoir that contain commercial quantity.
who going to show
And
us?
that's why I say no. But the only way you can do that is that you have to do more exploration.
Yeah, sure.
Take for example Ghana. Ghana drilled up to 80 to 90 wells
Oh.
before they could find the Jubilee field. Liberia, the last time I checked, because I was actually in charge of data when I was at NOCA.
Okay.
The last time I checked, we have done drilled up to 20 wells. So it means our basin is going to explode.
We need to do more.
We need to do more. And the only way you can do more is to attract the people that have the resources that are willing to spend to come and search for you, because, like I say, it's a 99.9% chances of you not finding. So just know that there will be no time where any government will want to say, look, you know what, Liberia will take the risk and spend $60 million to go and drill 2 wells. And
If we do not find anything,
if we do not find
what
anything,
becomes of what we spend?
of course, then that money just go. But the big guys like the Total, the ExxonMobil, the Chevron, they can take that risk.
Now that company like Oranto, Total Energies, and these people are coming back to Liberia, I know there's a conversation ongoing now at the House. At the legislature as a whole. What should we be expecting from a professional standpoint?
Well, I think what we need to for Total. Total is an international company, and
Let's start with Total.
And Total has a very good track record. Total has made fine in many areas that other companies have gone and failed. Equatorial Guinea, you can name it, in Venezuela, in Brazil. Total has made a fine because I think maybe the people who run it, Total, they are blessed. So everywhere they go, they don't fail easily. Now, Total is actually interested in drilling. I think they acquire 4 blocks or so, right? But sometimes what drives these oil companies away, and like I would say, there is a lot of attraction out there by other countries, to get these guys to move,
There's competition. In
competition,
the market.
of course, because there are countries that have already made fine. There are countries that have done commercial. They've already defined commercial quantity. So if you, as a country that have made no fine, competing with countries that have made fine and trying to attract these guys to come, look, we think, yes, we've made a first fine, but we think there is more here. You can come and search. If you were making that business decision as the owner of that company, where will you go?
We'll go to the people who already have.
The people that already have. So to bring those people into your basin where there have been no history of commercial quantity, it takes a lot that you have to negotiate behind the scene. It takes a lot that you have to close your eye on it. Now, in fact, there are some countries now like Namibia and others, they even saying to the guys, just come and search for it. We don't after you be giving us signature bonus or doing XYZ. Come, let's look for it. When
If
we
it is
find
there,
if it is there,
then the country
then
know what to do.
Then the conversation now change. So when you find it, the conversation now, start getting a little bit
In order
harder
to
on the
attract a lot of these people here to really search and find that commercial content that you're talking about, do we need to take some very painful decisions?
Well, I wouldn't say painful per se. I would say we need to narrow the politics on it because this affects
Expectations
us.
as well.
The expectations. And then we need to also massage the law in a way that it becomes attractive to them. Okay. Because, like I say, why would a guy wants to come to Liberia when he can go to Venezuela that is already producing oil?
Yeah, sure.
Why do the guy wants to come to Liberia when he can go
there's
to
still
Brazil,
Nigeria is here.
Nigeria, Ghana? They can take,
Gabon, these places.
Gabon and other places. So to bring them here, it takes an extra negotiation skill. It takes the country, trying to find a way to say, look, you know what? Let's look at giving you maybe 5 years or 10 years to just come and search. Because the bottom line is that we're eager to find. And the reason for this, Trokon, when you saw most of the oil companies coming here between 2010 and 2016, there was a trajectory in the industry. The oil prices were going up. So
On the global market.
on the global market.
Yeah.
So major companies like Exxon, Chevron, and Adaco could have taken the risks and say, look, you know what? We can go to new frontier countries if we find there's a possibility that we can, we'll be able to make maximize our profit. And even that, the money that they're using to spend into their country, they're recovering that money somewhere else because of the price of oil. As we speak today, the price of oil is below $60 a barrel. So it means that the oil prices are dropping. And we need to start looking at what are the drivers that are bringing down oil prices. Many of the countries now in the world are talking about going green energy.
Yeah, fossil fuel.
Electric vehicles.
Electric vehicle, rather, yeah.
The
Clean
automobile industry is number one user of the hydrocarbon of the oil and gas. Countries have now set up their target. Some are about 2030, some are 2035. They want to transition. So if we are not attracting these guys to come and search for these natural resources in the next 10, 15 years, it could be worthless to many of these guys to say, why do we want to go and spend 100 million in a country where we're not even sure that we're going to find? So let's focus on countries that are already brownfield, that already have, so we can be able to extract whatever is there before the value starts to drop.
When you talk about Liberia need to massage the law, what are you talking about? Should we have a little bit of relax some of what we really push out there to attract these investors to come to the country? Because you gave a very good example. If I was supposed to come to Liberia and Sierra Leone, for example, already has huge commercial quantity of oil, what's the essence of me coming here to waste money to start to look for virgin oil?
Yeah, when I say massage the law, it doesn't mean that you close your eyes to everything. Like I said, you are not giving out your sovereignty, or you're not giving out these blocks. You're not selling them. You're leasing them for a period, right? Let's say, I remember when I was at Noka, it was between 5 to 7 years exploration. I think it has gone up to 10 years now. So these are some of the attraction that you want to give to these guys. That we give you the latitude of time so you can check. So it means that if you plan to drill maybe in year 1 to year 2, and you say, okay, for some reason I cannot drill in year 1 or year 2, I'll push it to year 3. Now, the guy know that he has up to 10 years to do his exploration. He will still have a valid license. Okay. He can play around that. He can move money from here and there to be able to do that. Unlike when it was just maybe 6 years, 7 years, where the guy knows that by the end of the 5th year, if he has not done any work, it means that he has to start partner up. And I give you an example how Anadako left Liberia. I remember Anadako should have drilled another well because they drilled a well called Mosorado 1. They didn't make any find. So they wanted to drill another well. But this was almost at the end of their exploration license. So we had this JOC meeting. I was part of that meeting. And the guys from Anadako was appealing to us. You guys need to give us time, extend our exploration license so we can be able to drill. And we said no.
Noka Liberia says?
Noka Liberia, at that time, my former boss, Dr. McLean, said no. If you guys cannot do it at this point in time, then we'll take the block away from you guys. And that did happen. We did take the block away from them. They packed up and left.
Wow. How does the government benefit in all of this in terms of exploration? I know people talk about percentage of bonus, all these ones, and having Liberians on working with them and having some money back to the economy, but the government as a whole, what do they stand to benefit?
So there are a couple of things, like you said, signature bonus is one. You have surface renter. Okay, so whatever we give them in terms of the acreage that they have, they pay something called surface renter. That money is supposed to go into the consolidated account. And then also during that period, whatever geological, geophysical information that they have, from there they have to share it with the government. And then they also have something called corporate social. So they do some activities. I think you heard about the Chevron Park.
Yeah.
You know, that was
After
built up
the-
there. Yes,
the-
yes,
the-
yes.
the river.
So those are all different kind of, benefit that come to the country. But the real benefit is a queue if there's a commercial discovery. Because that's where now you come into, the production sharing, and then there's a different, because once the guys once they make a find, there's something we call cost oil. So it means that out of the money that they have spent, they will have to recover it. And then when you leave from cost oil now, then you go into profit oil.
Wow.
So meaning now, at that stage, it means that they may already recover his costs. In many countries, if the state still doesn't want to spend money in trying to produce that profit oil, they allow the oil company to do it, and then they share revenue.
Okay. Revenue sharing.
Yes. So at that point now, the state will also get more.
Okay.
And the guy too, who the international oil company too, will also make some money because they're also spending money to do the production. So at one point in time, I tried to talk about narrowing the politics. So in 2014, we went to South Africa for the All Africa Oil Week. We had this we have the different booths because we're showcasing the very basin or so. And then there was this euphoria on this whole I believe it was the southeastern corridor that we have just done some seismic acquisition. The legislature was pushing for a moratorium, that we put moratorium on those blocks so that we don't give it out for the future.
Yeah, sure.
So the people who understood the industry at that point in time came to us and said, but this, what are you guys saying? Do you guys actually understand what you're saying? Because what do you know lies under those blocks?
When you've done no exploration.
When we've done no exploration and you want to put it out for a moratorium. So the best that you can do is to give it out, let people check.
And
Once
let's know what is there.
once you know what is there,
Then you decide.
In fact, some of these, if you are lucky to find commercial quantity, maybe 2 billion barrels, 3 billion barrels, some of those were produced for 25, 30 years. Is that not the future? So what do you want to keep? And you actually don't know what is there. So that's why sometimes the policymaker has to understand these things very keenly.
They are not too. I don't think a lot of experts input into the decision these people make.
No.
Now we have the one of the most talked about deal is the Oriental deal.
Yeah, the
It's
Oriental
of
deal, yeah.
Capitol Hill. Yeah, all of these lawmakers are talking all the deals, this deal, is that. And if you ask somebody if they've read the contract in detail and make some analysis from an informed background with experts, some wouldn't tell you yes. Have you read the contract, by the way?
Yes, of course. I've read the contract, and some of the issues that they're raising to me, like I said, those issues could be easily addressed rather than us making it, an issue. In fact, to me, it is not even an issue. Now, if you say to me in the contract, it didn't spell out when the other component of the signature bonus will be paid. It's just so simple.
That can be resolved.
That can be resolved easily. Now, you come back and say, this man was here before, he got an oil block, he went and sold it to Chevron, and he make huge amount of money. Those issues have been resolved. It is in the contract. Now, at that point in time, we never had any safeguards
Okay.
to say, when Trokon comes and lease this block for me, and go and give it to a third party,
This is what should happen.
this is what should happen, right? But because we've learned from our mistakes, we say, okay, fine. In fact, what you did for us, it was good because you opened our eyes to certain things. We didn't know about frame in, frame out. It's a normal practice in the industry. So I can come to you and take and lease block from you, and then I go out there and look for other people, because this whole business is about trust. It's also about marketing. Now, if Chevron doesn't trust my ability as a country to deal with me, but they trust the ability of Oronto, who they have probably been dealing with, right? And Oronto came to them and said, okay, I have 1 or 2 acreage in this country. I want you to look at it and see what are, we can do business. And Chevron take up, look at it and say, yes, I think we have interest. We'll go in there and do the rest of the work. And then they acquire that lease from you.
Yeah.
All right. And then they took it over. Whatever profit that this guy had made, all right, I don't see the reason why you actually want to make a claim to it and make it out of issue.
Does the government lose in any way if such a deal?
No.
So everything within the contract you sign still stand
It still stands.
for the exploration.
Everything still stands. Now, the government would have had an issue if Chevron did not come to carry on the exploration activity. But Chevron came and lived up to everything that was within that contract, right? Chevron came and lived up to it. And in fact, the guys were even operating with Chevron in a joint venture operation until that particular exploration was concluded. So for me, these are not issues. Now, what we need to now start looking at, does this guy have the ability or does he have the financial strength to be able to come and do what he say he wants to do at this second point in time? Because people say, he has not done it before. And like I said, I have not come to, to justify any of these contracts. But you asked me if I've read it. And I say, yes, I've read, this
you
contract.
need to give us that expert opinion.
And I need to give you my, understanding from it. Now, most of these oil companies, even the international oil company, the Chevron, the Anadarko, the stuff, they don't own these drilling rigs. There are different companies out there that do the drilling for them. So if they have to come and do exploration within your basin,
the contract somebody else.
Somebody else. So what we need to now start looking at, do Oronto have the financial strength to be able to live up to what they say they want to do here? And then at every step of the way, Oronto have to submit their proposal to the regulatory authority to say, okay, between this time and this time, this is our work program, and we play to the SRC. The regulatory authority will have to approve it and then give them the go-ahead. And if they fail to do it after a certain time, the regulatory authority have the authority to take away our blocks from them. Like I said, they're not buying it, they're leasing it. It's almost like I gave you my house to rent, right?
And clauses within the contract
And
will stick to
clauses,
that.
of course, yes.
That if you fail to
do it,
yes, do the
so
SRC did this.
so I said, Trokon, I'll give you my house for 5 years, but every year you have to do an improvement on my house. You have to build a fence, but before you build a fence, please give me the cost, give me your working document, the budget or so I can approve it. So after 2-3 years, if Trokon have not done anything on my house, it is my right to take my house away from Trokon.
Yeah.
The laws are there. It's clear. So to me, I think these are the conversations that we need to now focus on.
What should the legislature be doing now?
I think the legislature should be focusing on more Liberian participation in the process.
Public hearing.
Well, they need to talk to few Liberians that understand the sector.
Okay.
And we are not short of them. There are a lot of Liberian petroleum lawyers here. I went to school with Councillor Minipega. There are a lot of other people here who actually have degree in petroleum law. Okay. Councillor Emmanuel Tule. There are a couple of people, Councillor Said Deki. These people work in the sector before. So when you have these instruments, the best how you can do, like you said, these public hearings, you can invite experts. Let them look into these instruments and tell you exactly what are the issues that are there. For me, I'm not yet a lawyer, but I'm a senior student, of law. So when I see contracts, I try to look for all of those major legal issues that I think that are actually important to discuss, rather than all of these, small things. Oh yeah, where's the people office?
Yeah, some of the things I can be resolved. Well, let's go to Grand Bassa. From Bassa, then we take a few calls. Hey, quote unquote,
yes.
crude oil is being discovered.
Well,
somewhere in my country, Grand Bassa.
so me all of you can be kind of
We're gonna get rich.
all of you can be get rich, But on a very
Is there any possibility?
on a very important, I've read the statement coming from the national
Local,
oil
yeah.
company. Yes. Well, what I would say about that, because I was opportune to work in Nokal, and I also saw the Simba Energy reconnaissance survey that they did here. They did something called aerodynamic survey. They used plane to go over those areas. It was basically concentrated around the Marshall Basin, and what they say at that time,
Is that what they call the rubber bed passer basin?
I know
That
it's
place? Oh, you're talking
yeah,
about different.
the Marshall Basin is around the airport area. They're going
Yeah.
all the way up there. Yeah,
Okay.
what they said was that they saw seepages of natural gas,
Wow.
but they could not confirm the commercial viability of that particular natural gas, that the thing that they've seen. So we needed to have done additional survey. You have to do additional seismic survey, that which we have not done yet. Most of our activities are actually offshore, not onshore. Now, with what is happening around Grand Bassa, it's actually unique, and sometimes we have to manage these informations very, very carefully before
Why?
we put it out, because the issue of oil and gas almost in the entire sub-Saharan Africa has been conflict prone. If you start telling people that they have oil on their land and they have this and they have that, that could, start creating some skirmishes, family issues, tribal issues. They have their children in Monrovia who listen to these conversations, who read
will
these
send
things.
information back.
They will go back home and start demarcating land and start doing X, Y, Z or so. Now, like I said the last time, it's very rare to see these things, but it's possible that there are seepages coming from within the earth. There are a lot of geological changes now taking place. I'm not a geologist, but even our weather, you see it.
Tell,
Yeah.
I may rain today.
It's still raining in December. So it's possible, but again, further studies have to be made to determine what has been discovered is actually crude oil, what has been discovered has a commercial quantity within that area. What are these seepages are coming from a further area that has maybe a reservoir that is sealed, has been cracked,
And
then
just
there is
open up, start to flow.
and is just flowing. So a lot has to be done before we can even conclude. I've spoken to one or two of the geologists that went on the scene because I used to work with them at Nokal. From what they've seen, it looks good so far.
Wow.
But even they themselves cannot confirm
Because we need a lot of laboratory
because we need a
testing
lot of
and
laboratory testing. So what they have done over the past 2 days, they've taken samples from the site. They I think they should be sending it to Connex, because Connex is doing refining here. So Connex can be able to determine whether is true. And then after that, you have to send it for further laboratory testing to go to maybe Ghana, because Ghana have those things in place. Yeah. So need to go to Ghana to do proper testing to know actually what everybody's saying. But from the initial investigation done on the site itself, they were not able to see any trace of maybe somebody going there to dump oil or
because I
something.
saw the
there.
gas yeah deep. I mean, not even more than 5 feet, and
Yes,
so I
yes,
have
yes.
the black
yeah,
liquid
yeah.
coming out.
Yeah. No, and they did
Is
actually.
that how it looks?
They did actually confirm that to me when I had the conversation with them. They dug few wells and just holes, and then as soon as they go
Not too long.
not too long, they see the seepages coming up or so. But like I said, there's a lot needs to be done.
Yeah, we pray that we'll have a
I think-
reservoir around
I,
there.
I think it's still in the
very
early
early,
stage.
very, very
yeah,
early,
and we just need to
we
manage
need to manage information
manage the
while we're sitting out there.
the information while we're still doing, because even if it's proven that there's crew, like I said, do we have commercial quantity in our area?
We will still need companies to come.
and then we need companies to come and drill. We need companies to come and do the seismic analysis for us and so forth. So that would take maybe another 2, 3, 4 years or so. Yeah.
At least people will get jobs to be doing in the meantime. We are hosting Edwin A. Famole. He holds a Master's of Science degree in energy studies with a specialization in petroleum economics. and a former employee of the National Oil Company of Liberia. We've gone deep into a conversation about Liberia oil base and do we have oil there. He's explained some of the things, he knows best. We talk about the Picano, the Bassa happenings. And all I could hear is we need to manage information properly because if we do not do, we will cause we will spark some confusion over there while we are still trying to find out whether the liquid being taken from over there is actually crude or is actually, marketable or. But let's hear from a few Liberians. Hello.
Trokon, good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Let me say good evening, my friend and brother Edwin. My former classmate, graduate of high school together. Edwin and Michael Iflomo Senior. On the bus, on my way home from work. So I listened to everything you said, my brother. Like I said the last time on the show, when you was on Planet FM, we are so proud of you. You are so professional in your studies. What I wanted to ask, Trokon, I already asked that, but let me just show you.
But the pastor didn't.
Yeah, that pastor thing.
Let me start running the pastor.
So you're going to start running the pastor, you're going to waste more.
Yeah, I read some of them, Pakon was there, and then I don't know. But what the guy talk over there, I started thinking, even though I know that they need to be refined, but I don't know.
I think there's some prospect.
I don't know whether they can take it now, put it in a Lancer, the kerosene, or that plastic thing you saw, can you put it in the car or your generator? Can you use it now?
No.
You need to refine it.
It needs to
That's
be.
what the refinery companies.
It needs to be refined. So if
When I saw that thing from Grandfather, I thought don't talk about it then, so that thing.
I'm begging you, man. Remember, Papa, I'm begging you. You will respond to that question properly. Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Go put that in your car and see whether it will start. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Chris Small Kotiman. I joined when Gandhi Intellectual Center FDJ Shoko.
Go ahead, Kotima.
Let me say good afternoon to your studio guest. I listened to your studio guest as he articulates on the issue about our extractive sector. I think our extractive sector is one sector that government need to pay key focus on because this sector helps to boost our country growth development and our economy and also provide jobs so that the people can have a better livelihood. And if it comes to the issue of Buchanan, I think for we all as Liberians, we are very much happy and serious in the preliminary information of which
we shouldn't be happy here. Let's keep praying.
Of course. That's why I say, even though we are praying, but we are trusting God for what we are believing on.
Okay.
To be confirmed so that the people of Liberia can have a dividend, so that the sugar that effect can be affected on the common people. Thank you.
I understand that. Hello?
Trokon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead.
And let me say good evening to the professional expert when it comes to the oil business. But Trokon, I just listened to your guest. A certain thing, it got me, and I want to ask for clarity. Maybe if you were leasing certain sites, maybe probably people expecting oil to be, and then you have a foreign company who has a same expert in oil business, and they can search a place. They spend maybe $10 billion or $1 million to the government to go to assessment to that place. So if these people do the assessment and then they don't find anything there, so what becomes? Will the government or the government give back what they have lost?
No.
No.
Anyway, he will respond. They only own. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Trokon.
Yeah, go ahead. After you take the last two.
Okay, my name is Johnny Erickson Bona, and I call you from the Ward Johnson Village this evening.
Okay.
Let me say thanks to your studio guest. I think his expertise is needed at the national level, especially at the national legislature, where he can appear to explain those issues as it relates to
we will start to put pressure on those people up there so they can call experts. They ain't coming be there, be talking politics, whole day will all be in there. We'll put pressure on them.
They make it appear as if to say we have discovered oil in Liberia. I mean, and this, even those that come in to do exploration, they are taking risks with our resources. And to people making it appear to say we have those things available, and the issue, I mean, this information emanating from Grand Bassa. I mean, I've not seen anywhere in the world the possibility of, crude oil get surface on the surface of the ice that I mean, I don't know how.
You're looking at we guys are gonna arrest it for somewhere that I'm boss. We trace it.
Yeah, because I know.
You're not getting one pray for the country to get better. You can start praying now so we can find out reservoir. The buffalo that reservoir.
Go in order to discover crude oil. So just say, oh, crude oil explore on the surface of the ice in Grand Bassa and.
It not crude oil yet. I said it is tested. Thank you. We got to test it for you. We'll give it name. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Trokon.
Yeah, we got to test it first and know what kind of oil it is. Then we'll give it name. You're not crude oil yet. That
Good
black
evening,
liquid.
Trokon.
Go ahead.
Yeah, quickly, two things quickly. My name is Sam, so I phone in from Kakata.
Okay.
Let me thank your guest in studio. He spoke well. I think these are the people we're looking for when it comes to these kind of issues. Because the people who are in the Capitol Hill, they don't know anything about this kind of issue when it comes. I think people like that, they need to be there.
Yeah.
But my question to the guest is, if he were to advise the people at the Capitol Hill, what could be his advice
Okay. Thank you.
on the ExxonMobil issue?
He will respond. There's no I don't think ExxonMobil here. That Orento we're talking about that Orento deal has been the whole thing off capital. Oh, we get the people all do the post so it to somebody else and blah 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 and all those things. So that's what he was saying. Okay, let me we take at least 2 more calls, then we can call it a day. Let me call my number. So we can take 2 more calls, then we call it a day. This is the conversation, and we're looking deep down into Liberia's oil setup. But you can start to respond. Okay, let's talk to.
Hello, Charlie.
Let's talk to somebody very quickly before we take leave of you on the show. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. My name is Jonathan Bocha Sobe.
Welcome, Senator. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. So I've been following the conversation. Very interesting, by the way. But I'd like to add my voice to that of Local and to Mr. Family that we should, at this point, be trying to manage expectations.
Yeah.
Because people around these sectors will begin to help the situation as though we got oil in Liberia already. And as you rightly said, you may have oil or samples of oil, but they may not be commercially viable. And so we need to speak to our people in a manner and form that they will understand that this thing is not oil yet. Even if it's oil, it's possible that it's just a sample.
Yeah.
So let's be careful. Let's take time until we get to that point. Because this thing happened in Holland that created a phenomenon called the Dutch disease. And so if we are not careful, we'll have a situation that we will begin to fight for land, properties, like he said. Family member going against family because they said our ancestors' land. In the end, we will have some kind of situation where we don't even know what we have. I just wanted to add my voice to the conversation. But thank you again for hosting Mr. Famula and DC. You have taught us some things.
Great, Senator. But before you go, there's been calls from people like me and others that you guys need to, in fact, a lot of experts, including Mr. Famula, to be a part of several conversations surrounding Oranto and other, some of these deals.
So let me say to you, boss man, that I worked for Nokai during the time Mr. Famula was there.
Okay.
Nokai also sent me to England in a master class in local content participation.
Okay.
And so I'm advised in the sector as well.
All right.
We are providing our expertise, but I cannot say that for the entire Senate. But we are doing what we have to do. I even spoke with Mr. Famula along these lines with this contract came about.
Okay.
So he has provided some insights. We are giving what we can give. However, we must understand that our country is a bordering country. We are a frontier country. We don't have oil. We have never had oil. So we cannot attack everybody. And so we must be flexible in how we award this contract and how we, not being rigid, but putting the caps on the nail. That is my take on it, and I promise you, we'll go through, and people will develop interest in our sector.
Thank you, Senator Jonathan Borcha Sibwe there speaking with us. From that, we can just end here. You can just respond to some of what the guy said in 2 minutes.
Well, I would start with the first guy that said that asked whether the people can start to put the oil in their car or in their lantern. First of all, it is very hazardous right now for anybody to even get in close contact with it. Now, if you saw the expert that went on the scene from the various entities or so, they were protected. They were wearing gloves.
Our people they ain't wearing gloves.
Because even if it's crew sipping from somewhere, it has some kind of effect that it could even have on the skin. So that's why you see oil companies are very careful with spill. When there's an oil spill somewhere, they spend billions of dollars in trying to contain it because that effect from it. So we advise that people should not come close to it. They should even take it and put it in their house. Somebody was saying, why they could put it in a car. No, I'll tell you, no way. You put it in that car, then it means that you don't want that car again.
Another question was as to whether when the companies come, they don't find oil, they pay their money back.
Absolutely, they don't get nothing. So all of the companies that came here, and like I said, we're not selling these acreages to them. We listen to them to do the exploration. If they don't find, they take the rigs and pack their bag and leave with nothing. That's why I say it's a 99.9% chances of you finding or you not finding. So the risk is very high. So they assume the risks.
Wow. They take the shocks.
They take that shocks and pack. Chevron spent around maybe $100 million a year.
Wow.
To drill well. They didn't find, they turned the block over to us. The famous Block 13. ExxonMobil too the same way. They spent a lot of money here. So after they couldn't find anything, they packed their bag and walk away. And the senator struck a very good point. Yes, he and I worked together at Nokal. He was one of the presidents that actually went out there to, like myself, to get some kind of understanding of the sector. And when this whole conversation started, he and I have spoken. Okay. There are other senators that have reached out to me. They say, you are our son. We understand that you understand this sector. We want you to look at this place from here and just tell it. And we have been able to give them our expert opinion. Okay. But I just want to say one thing. I hope this is the last time now, because I don't want to be seen, like running around the place trying to educate people about the oil and gas sector. There are institutions that are supposed to be doing that. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I work for the electricity company.
Thanks for giving us your expertise. So thank you, family.
I have to do it before the contact call come out.
I see. Clarence will be here on Monday. Clarence will tell that contact call. Well, this is all we have time for on today's edition of the program, and we are grateful that we have with us Mr. Edwin the family. He is an expert in the field. So we're grateful to have him. Blessing Nimne and April and Cannon. Streamer live on social media. My name is Trokon Wrepue. Join us tomorrow for another edition of the program. Bye-bye.